Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. I promise you we will continue soon with the rest of that King and Prince of Map tourney section on Open Palms. That'll be the final, semi-final and final. We'll bring you those. But today, we're going to have some almost all-pro 2v2 action on Seraphim Glaciers. First of all, I want to say thank you to people who took the time, actually, to chat with me, or rather at least send me some messages regarding how I can solve the issue with the raffle, essentially, that we're going to be doing on the old Patreon thing. We have some good ideas, Discord servers. Some good chaps already said by message that he's already developed a little app for me to use, so we'll have a chat soon, so I promise, and work out the best way to do it. But thank you everybody for putting in your input there. That all sounds awesome. Anyway, let's get on with today's game. As we said, it's going to be custom 2v2, and it's going to be Seraphim Glaciers, baby. Woo! Because somebody in the comment section the other day said it wasn't a proper map if there were no naval units involved. So I heard you, and I deliberately selected this map for you, sir. Whoever you may be, I probably should have made a note. That would have made you feel all furry and special. Furry? Fuzzy. Don't even say furry. Alright, enough of that. Today's game, 2v2, Seraphim Glaciers, game zone. Let's go. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Instant loading. That's what we like. Things are running as they should today. We can unpause. Let's take a look at our players. Up here at the top left, we'll call this Team 1. Up here, down here, sorry, at the bottom right, we'll call this Team 2. Going first for Team 1, over on the left side of his island there, it's Paralon. He's going Cybrin, bless him, and opening first land. And his teammate up here in mellow yellow, it's Galactic GG, another Cybrin, so it's an all Cybrin affair there for Team 1. And he is going land as well. Let's take a look at their opponents down here at the bottom right. Team 2, we've got Blinchik, and he's going Seraphim in regal purple, going land, and then a couple of air factories queued up after that. And his teammate over here, Strogo, it's an Aeon, so it's a more mixed bag there for Team 2. He's going Elephantine Grey, opening first land, and just going to keep us guessing on what they're going to do next. Game quality for this one is at 69%, which is what we consider not to be a balanced game. Massively, if you take a quick look at the ratings, in favour of Team 2 there. So we've got a 1900 and a 1400 there for Team 1 versus a 2100 and a 1600 there for Team 2. So definitely Team 2 favourites at the start of this one, but it's subcom, and therefore anything can happen. As we cut back to our players and see what's going on, Paralon has let us know he's up for some air action after his land factory. That's queued up next, going to get a total of 6 P-gens online before commencing work on that. Second factory there for Galactic was also an air factory. He's gone with 7 T1 P-gens and went for adjacency bonus with his initial factory as well on one of the core mass. Down here, checking back in with Team 2. How many P-gens have we got for this chappie in his study? We've got, wow, it looks like a full-on 8 P-gens to go there before he starts work on his air factories. There we go. First one under construction there for him. And Strogo is, when they do that, get that full kind of template going, ready for a little factory to nestle in there. He is going with that. Is he going to get all of those in? So probably seems like it. So he's going for 8, 9, 10, 11 if we get all that in first. However, that might have started work with a couple of the NGs. They're going to start work on the factory. They're going to assist the comm on the P-gens. No, it is the latter. First plane out, and it is for Team 2. Scout plane heading over to that bottom left island. And of course, but part of the course for Seraphim Glaciers, the order of the day is to get your transports out, loaded with engineers early, to grab these side islands as quickly as possible. And you can get a real sense here of Blinchik wanting to deny his opponent up here, which is Parla, which is the highest rated member, of course, for Team 1 at 1900. So if you can stall him and keep him confined to his base island, that will go a long way into finishing this game early. Out comes the scout planes. He's spied the transport that's inbound, that's been locked onto by an interceptor. There's another Inti in as well. Can he get the offload in time? It's not looking good. He's trying to dump him in the sea. Will he be lucky? No, he won't. That's a lovely little snag there for Blinchik. And that is about as annoying as it gets on Seraphim Glaciers. If that's your transport getting shot down, that's a horrendous start 5 or 6 engineers on board there. Scout plane out there for Paralord, checking out what's happening in Blinchik's base. Where he's up against 2 air factories now, and he's starting to produce bombers as well, just in case any transports do get through. He'll be raining down death from above to boot. Things not going brilliantly here, as expected for Team 1. Paralon producing interceptors, but they're getting popped as they make their way over the waters towards the middle of the map. Here goes a transport for Galactic GG. 4 NGs on board. Will this fare better? He has got a little bit of a fighter screen in place over here. Couple of scout planes out for Team 2, already checking out that top right island. So he's got 1 engineer over here already. He's dropping off at least 1 more before heading on over right to the far corner up here. Where's Strogo? Surely he's making a play. Yes, he is. That chariot's got 3 NGs on board and doesn't look like it's slowing down. That's an aggressive opening drop he wants to deny on the ground, and it's going to be close. These 2 transports arriving more or less at the same time. Doesn't want to run into those 2 inties though from Galactic. Looks like he's going to get his engineers on offloaded, as is Galactic. So 3 engineers there for Strogo. Go straight to work on a land factory. Those 4 engineers for Galactic move a little bit, and then a bit further south start working on a land factory of their own. Transports getting shot down there for Galactic, and reinforcing aircraft coming in from Blinchik as well, helping his teammate Strogo hold control of the airwaves above that top right island. More interceptors though coming in for Galactic all the time. Wow, major investment into airplay from Blinchik. Those 2 early air factories going full whack. You can see he's properly cornering in Paralon up on this top island, and it looks like he's actually adjusting. Really just kind of get off down the edge of the map. That would be the best option as far as I could imagine. No, zigzaggy, doesn't seem to know where he's going as you look at the waypoints dotting all over the place. Could he be about to lose another transport? This would be awful. He's going for the middle. So if we can get any mass at all at this point, he'll be happy, I'm sure. Off the engineers jump into the water. Down goes the transport, lands on top of them, and only 2 remain, and both of which pretty badly damaged. This is not a good start at all for Team 1. And not only that, they lost the battle at the top right island as well. Galactic GG ousted by Strogo's ground pressure. 3 engineers versus 4 at the outset, remember, but no. That was a better, more aggressive build order from Strogo, and now he's firmly in territorial control, for the time being at least, on that island. Another transport out for Galactic, not one to give up. Really don't want to get hemmed into your island if you can at all avoid it on Glaciers. I remember the controversy this map used to cause when people got peed off about Zep back in the day, including it on ladder, before you could essentially decide which ones you did or did not like in ladder. But look, just when I say it's safe to go around the edge of the map, Blinchik anticipates it and picks off a transport trying to do exactly that. The 3rd transport gets shot down there for Paralon, who's having a shocker, upgrading at the moment his commander to T2. Another Skyhook. How many is that now? It's number 4. Just can't penetrate through to this fighter screen. Having said that, so much effort is being put into the deny from Blinchik. He hasn't sent a single engineer over to this island yet to make any claim stakes for himself, which is definitely an oversight. He could send this engineer over right now. He sent it over a while ago and done a little distance build up the cliff edge there, and he would have a presence. But for the time being, it feels like wasted opportunity. This island completely going free still, despite the fact nearly approaching 10 minutes into the game. Paralon working on some T2 power. He's just resigned now to the fact, well, this is my home, this is where I live. The place where I started. I'm not getting out anytime soon because of the outrageous numbers of purple interceptors flying off my southern cliff edge. Just brutal. He's got a fair number of inties building up himself. They're a little bit scattered here and there. I suppose he's got a bunch of scout planes making up that group, but not completely devoid of any offensive capabilities. And look at that! Galactic GG makes a drop, and this time on Strogo's side of the island. Doesn't go for the straight assault. Wants to get in there, potentially grab some of this mass, these large chunks of ice, and of course some easy mass down here at the bottom of the instructors there. T1 bombers picking off stray engineers for Strogo. Strogo's attention definitely elsewhere for the time being, not fussed about losing some of these. He wants to try a little bit harder perhaps. I mean, they've gone to the effort to deny, but he's got very little aerial coverage. Probably doesn't even know of the threat that's heading north as we speak. There it is. Did try to get that land factory online in the center, but didn't manage it. A lot of purple bombers buzzing around then, as there are now, assaulting that western island, and that's another land factory that didn't get completed. I think it's fair to say Paralon has yet to get a single production facility online outside of his main island, and this is just astonishing. I want to pick up this purple chap and shake him in his giant Seraphim suit and say, expand to the island. You're missing an opportunity. Why haven't you sent it something? Build one transport. Drop some engineers. Another transport inbound there for Galactic this time. 6 engineers make landfall. And this has gone well for Galactic. Strogo, who might as well be AFK. We've hardly seen anything of him. He has been producing naval units down here, or rather building up his naval production. Are working on their first naval vessels now. Obligatory mass storage going up. T2 phase. That's the sequence, if you're wondering, newbies who are watching. T1 mass, upgrade to T2, then mass storage around, and then go to T3. There are many useful efficiency tidbits, and he did it! Somehow he did it! And he did it with his commander. What? How did he get that over? Well, there's a T2 transport heading back there. Dragonfly somehow didn't manage to get loads of skyhooks through, but he risked his commander's life and somehow managed to break through there. Looked like the trajectory he was coming. I was wondering if he came in through there. I suppose he might have come in around the side and then flown out that way. But however he did it, he has done it. And now, rather perversely, the team that looked so very strong in the beginning, and still do look strong. I mean, if you look at Eco, it's 125 versus 82 in favor of Team 2. So it's not gone badly for them, but you don't want to be in this position where you see the control of both of the other starting locations on this map. That's a lot of mass that you're giving up, a lot of territorial control. Let's just see, though, if Team 1 can hang on to it. Paralon under threat from the sky. Got his ACU to throw down a tracer. T1 bombers that have been giving him some hassle, slowly getting blapped on all of their passes. And now we've got some T2 air coming in. So Blenchik in with the gunship. It's upgraded to T2 air. still with a very strong, sizable interceptor presence. In come the inties from Paralon. What's he focusing on? He's going to go after the Tracer first. It would make sense. Down that goes. Then he prioritizes the land factories. That is a T2 upgrading comp, so he's able to fling those Tracers up very quickly indeed. He's going to need a lot more gunships than that if he wants to dismantle this position from the sky. In comes a fighter bomber. Takes out a Tracer. Will he get a second pass? Oh, no, he won't. All of the out of fuel interceptors, they're still holding the airways over here in the bottom left for Blinchik, but definitely suboptimal efficiency. And no naval power under construction yet for Blinchik. Whereas we already have our first naval facility online for Paralon. So, interesting strat. Yet to see if it's going to work out for them in the long run. I definitely feel like this was an unnecessary seed. Had he brought an engineer, had he brought that engineer, which has done nothing else since we last mentioned it, had he brought it over, set up a factory, he could have had a lot of extra mass. Even if he'd have been brushed aside at the top of the island by an ACU incursion, he would have had a presence to combat that elsewhere, and he might have been able to fend that off altogether had he got established early enough. So it's definitely a missed opportunity there. Paralon throwing down T2 PGen. I love this. This is so wonderfully easy for me to be critical here, watching these guys play, and now I'm going to have to humiliate myself soon by playing one of you excellent people. I know you're going to enjoy it, though. That's what it's all about. Enjoyment, just not guiles. Couple of nice little bombing runs there from those two Nothers. Two Tracers taken down. A little bit of build capacity, collateral damage. There's some vulnerable T2 PGens. Another one like that would be nice for him. That's a T2 PGen down. What's that done to his power? Well, nothing good. He is now net deficit. Brutal assault from the skies here from Blinchik. Paralon combating as best he can with some ground-to-air weaponry, a couple of Sky Slammers on the ground, dotted around here and there. Tracers under construction, but not a lot of engineers left in the base to throw those up. But look at how quickly he's expanded down here. It's almost as if his starting base is a little bit expendable. Look at this little bit of aggression here from Galactic. He's been sitting pretty up in that top right island for some time. He's got a nasty little Trident fleet going on down here with a couple of subs. Should be able to hold this position, although expect to see some torpedo bombers coming out any time now. There it is. Advantage of the subs disappears. Will avoid major disruption thanks to his air power. Get an enemy fleet parked that close to your base, that's generally not a pleasant experience, but fortunately it wasn't at T2, so combating it with aircraft, just a simple task. So look at this though, territorial wise, you're on less than 25% of the map. That is not a great position to be in when you think how strong you were at the denies. You had landed up here, you had a base going, you had denied this, but you didn't expand down here. And generated eco-wise is now neck and neck. Well, I say that, and of course then it changes. It was both around 185 kind of a piece there, but sudden bump for Team 2 brings them up to 222 versus 189, and they have a 14k advantage overall so far. 14 or 15k. It's not massive, I hear you say, but remember, we're only 19 minutes in. And we're used to talking about these advantages in larger team games as well. 4-player, 5-player. That's some very out of fuel fighters there, getting the work done initially, right up until Galactic GG shows up and shoots them down. I'd like to have listened in on that when they were given the order. So we're out of fuel. Just go and attack anyway. It's fine. Hello, what have we got going on here? Sneaky little drop coming in around the back there from Paralon. It's a T2 transport laden with 10 units, going to drop off right next to that rear mech belonging to Blinchik, which is already on an upgrade to T3, although albeit paused. A couple of Medusas in there, or at least half of the Medusas. It's like 6-4 Medusa to Mantis. So nice little kill there to move on up and take out another one. Blinchik fighting back with his T2 fighter bombers. Blinchik pulls his comm as well to deal with this little incursion. Engineers brought in to rep and try and keep that T2 mech alive. He's going to lose one or two of those in the process as those Reducers with their wildly inaccurate shells land all over the shop nearby. Only one Medusa left. They're prioritised, of course, to try and minimise damage to the buildings. The Mantis are taken care of. Not a huge amount of damage, but worth it for a little bit of harassment. Why not? Team 1 still lagging behind. 277 to 251. We're starting to see Strogo hit back. It's been pretty quiet over this. We've just seen him defending his teammates' base down here against Galactic's Navy. Obviously Galactic didn't want to hit out against him. He had all of these factories down here, so he was trying to get score some easy damage early on. But now Strogo breaking out. Spectacular collapse of Galactic's Navy. Still got that destroyer in the middle. Siren over here gets picked off by Blinchik's torpedo bombers. Strogo starting his RAS. It's the first upgrade on his comm. Is that a power lock anywhere? Well, it's like power drain for Strogo. A momentary lapse, but they've definitely closed the gap there, Team 1 and Team 2. I think it's more or less at parity now on generated eco. And it's not surprising. You look at how many more mexes they have available to them. This is just a prime example, ladies and gentlemen, of why you don't just sit back and turtle. It'll get you so far on certain maps, but if you're going to give up that much territory, give so many resources to your opponents, don't just try and cut them off. Claim them and defend them. I sort of feel, though, there's a lot more commitment here to the naval play from Strogo than anybody else. We do have a decent number of factories up here producing something. No real assistance. And then we do have a T2 factory up here for Galactic GG, but I don't know it's whether he's also prioritizing air production as well. But he definitely doesn't seem to be pumping out vessels quite as quickly as Strogo. Galactic's on 120, Strogo's on 188, so that is pretty sizable differential between the two of them. Needs to get his power issue sorted as well, Galactic. Afford to bump this to +2. Apologies if me shifting in my seat comes through on the track, guys. I have ordered another chair. I say I've ordered, I haven't. It was a birthday present from my wonderful mother, so hopefully you guys will get a little less creaking coming through on the soundtrack if and when that arrives. That's a beautiful sight right there. Aeon vessels piling into their Cybran opponents. Seem a bit wrong with those huge arcing bolts from the Exodus, flying just a little bit too quick. In comes some torpedo bombers, though, from Galactic, going after presumably T2 vessels. So many shards in there. The attack boats, though, that's a lot of anti-aircraft firepower coming off the water. Has prompted Strogo to back up just a smidge. Cheeky little assault down here at the bottom. A couple of frigates attacking this little production point down here for Paralon. Everyone's very firmly in the ecoing phase here. Paralon dispatching torpedo bombers to intercept, but has managed to tidy up that little issue long before they get there. Might have some more work to do, though. More coming in potentially. We have seen some expansion down here for Nuke. Maxed up his mass production on the main island, no doubt. T3 upgrade on the way for him. And a massive air production facility planned. T3 engineers on the way out to construct that. Check unprecedented aerial production capabilities. Once again, another exchange brews over here in the east, and every time we come back over here, Strogo seems to have more ships. Could be problems for Galactic, who seems to be shifting backwards ever so slightly. Alpha damage so pretty easy, or easier to avoid with good micro. Not seeing it today. Of course, that micro is hampered. The more number of units you have in an area, you have reduced movement. Quite like a bit of Aeon Navy for bombardment. like T3 missile ship to the face either in the late game. Not that I wish bad things to happen to Team 1. It's just always enjoyable to see when those bad boys come out. Chick going for regen, advanced regen aura. Nano upgrade, so he's got advanced Raz, advanced nano, and T3 on that comp. Pretty chunky looking chappy. Strogo up to, he's got Raz, T3 as well. Bit of chat going on. It's Galactic once again asking his partner how he keeps his hair so shiny and silky. Surprised if Paralon responds. It's been a family secret for generations. That is significant. Those eastern shipyards belonging to Galactic are just overrun. Doesn't even seem like they're producing anything. They have been yielded to the onslaught. And that means any new naval reinforcements will be coming all the way from over here. This island now as influenced by the bottom right as it is by the top left. There's a dirty great grey navy there already in place. Team 1 doing their best with torpedo bombers. They're actually doing a pretty damn good job. That's so much torpedo-based firepower. What is going on here with this outrageous number of scout planes out from Blinchik? Getting any penetration in towards the main base though. Huge swathes of interceptors there from Paralon blocking that entrance. Quantum gateway complete for Blinchik. Really hasn't kept up with aerial production at all. So Blinchik is fallen off, so he's been working very much on production facilities. Now spewing out ASFs. Now he's got that new set of 5 T3 air factories online. Producing support commanders as well, of course. Imagine if he'd kept producing aircraft, he could have saved so many of Strogo's units, which in turn would have wiped out most of this by now. Prioritizing the cruisers, definitely the right thing to do. Get those high damaging anti-aircraft capable vessels out of the picture. Pressure we've seen applied so far from Paralon since he snatched this island. Now he's bringing in his own torpedo bombers once more to try and take out these vessels. The trouble is there's quite a few ASFs lurking down here now. They're going to tangle with Paralons over the top of this purple base. Vessels moving in amongst those naval yards, but all of the ASFs pretty much for Paralon have been destroyed. You've got 1 or 2 coming in every now and again. And this attack will peter out. He's taken out 3, nearly 4 or 5 shipyards. surely where it's going to end. It's where you wish you had access to some UEF or Seraphim cruisers just to continually hurl missiles and even longer range down here, although Salem's doing a pretty bang-up job so far. They've got this corner of the island to themselves. As you can see, their range reaching pretty much into the center of it. Strogo has brought reinforcements down from his side. That's a pretty significant diversion of firepower to protect his teammates' interests here on this side island. And Paralon will back right up, doing his Pharaoh Monk impression. So Team 1 on 619, Team 2 on 571 generated eco. Team 1 overall approaching 600k there versus 588. So Team 1 are officially in the lead, both in generated and total mass. For the time being, however, Strogo's still with the advantage in the sea, and he's managed to split that advantage and still have the upper hand in the two theatres on both sides of this map. Definitely missing a setting somewhere. You can see the weird textural issues I'm having there. Anyone want to give me a shout at what I've missed there in the settings so I can change that for future casts? Do let me know. Always asking me to zoom in more. I'd like to. It just didn't look like crap when I did it. Another aerial incursion. Torpedo bombers flying over Strogo's units, taking so much fire as they do, and then running headlong into this swarm of ASFs from Bling Chick. Massively inefficient way to combat naval units and a teleportation. This isn't a Cybran, this is a Seraphim assault here. What's he seen and why, or is it just what's going on? Well, there is a nuke launcher right there, and it is 60-70% done, 65% done on its first nuke there for Paralon. We do have an anti-nuke, but it's only just been completed and it's got nothing in it. So I'm guessing, I had to bet this more than anything is a bit of preemptive nuke defense. And still Strogo driving back both of these players. Talk about maximizing your economic potential. He's on 252. He's short stacking on eco compared to everybody else. And yet still, look at the work he's doing. So he completes his teleporter, but he's not done yet. He wants to change up to the gun upgrade, so he's ditched the RAS and he's ditched the T3. He's going to pick up the teleporter and a gun upgrade, the splash damage, maximize the carnage when he lands. And are we going to get the immediate teleportation? He's not doing it immediately if he is going to. What we want, we're using charge and notify, a little thing saying so and so is teleporting. He wants to hurry up. That nuke is very nearly complete, and he's going. The counter is climbing and it doesn't take long. 50%. Where is he headed? There that's where he's going. He's after the nuke. Is he going to get there in time? I think he will. As long as he focuses it down. Surely that's the purpose. Boom! He's in. And there's no defenses on the ground. Takes a while to crack through the shield. Oh, in the nick of time. Engineers furiously building auto guns. He's already started evacuation procedures. How much damage can he inflict in the meantime? The shield gen's gone down. There's a very vulnerable, juicy-looking ion reactor right here as T1 bombers start to engage the comm. He's going to bag the ion reactor too, which is going to be more collateral damage. Oh, that's a successful hit and run. Little bit of special forces action there on a Thursday morning. And he's going straight out again. He liked what he saw there. He's under pressure on the side island, so I'm guessing he wants to get as much damage done as possible. And this time he's going up after Galactic GG. But there's a lot of T1 bombers amassing over here now. He appears, goes straight after the power grid. The T1 bombers lock on. He has got nano repair. But out of 21,000 hit points, they are plummeting off him. He's 50% done on evac procedures, down into red, though. He's not going to make it out, I don't believe it. No. Oh, no. Blinchik, you were doing so well. Is full share on? Oh my god, that's awful. Full share is on. So Blinchik doesn't survive, as a whole ton of fairies don't, from terminal hemorrhoids. That's awful. That is a huge dump of eco into Strogo's coffers now, just as Team 1 went second in eco anyway, after the pressure that he's applied down here. 4 mechs is down and out. And Strogo, the highest rated player at the game, 2100, now has a lot of extra eco to put at his disposal, and he's already pretty much single-handedly driving these two teammates backwards. Hasn't managed to evict Galactic from that top right island yet, because frankly he hasn't been patrolling. Every single flotilla that he produces is sent in to join this main fleet that's been battling up here. Would you look at the amount of mass on that seabed? That is insane. So many sunken ships. Engineers trying to tidy up in there, and to Galactic's credit, he has managed to drop a couple of engineers in up front to get a new reinforcement point, or a reinforcing point up there. And would you look at the production facilities that are planned here for Paralon? He's worked out that he's going to need to breach Strogo in the water to bring this game to a conclusion, so massively focusing in on that. If only Paralon hadn't gone in for that second one, he would still be in it. Should have just cut his losses. Didn't appreciate the build-up of T1 bomber firepower off his first incursion, but that's the risk you run. It's fair to say, though, Strogo managing fine for the time being. Minutes in, and the one piece of standoff tactics we were seeing has been eliminated. That nuke down and out, and for the time being, at least, Paralon not attempting to rebuild it. So we are still firmly entrenched in face-to-face warfare. And look at that, first battleship I've seen so far. Galaxy class out for Galactic GG. Hurling those mighty Cyber shells into a pack of Aeon ships. Sometimes not all that accurately, but what can you do? Massively Trident heavy, these yellow fleets. T1 bombers sent into bat once again for Team 1. What's the target priority, if anything? Just giving them something else to shoot, apparently. That is ridiculous. One very dead attack boat and lots of very dead T1 bombers. Assuming that was a misclick. Or perhaps he just wanted to draw the fire for the torpedo bombers, who knew? Hello. So we've got a little bit of counter-teleporting going on potentially, and this time it is from a Cybran player, so could be seeing the classic Cybran tele-snipe on the way. If I can just fry Paralon's comm. Oh, he moved it to me. He's down here now. He's looking in the main base, wondering where he was. So he's got the T3 on there already, going for the teleporter. Of course, only one chap to kill now, and he's pretty well undefended. Wouldn't have a lot of time to get into the water either, assuming he stays there. Not a great place to stand. Would be a real shame for Strogo, who looks like he's getting the job done elsewhere. Definitely movement towards Team 1's territory over here in the center. And there it is. Teleporter done. Laser begun. This could be the game conclusion right here. We're nearly at 50 minutes. Strogo still hasn't moved. We've got no T1 PDs anywhere near his comm. All he'd have to do is waltz it into the water where it would be safe. I guess he took it out there because of all of the hordes of torpedo bombers and what have you lurking around the map. It was stationed for a while underneath this naval yard. Laser is done. Now he needs to find him. Be immediately obvious, I shouldn't think. He's got no intel coverage of Team 2's base, so he's going to need to send in some scouts, which it looks like that's what he's doing. Strogo on 3 fronts now. Look at him. He's breaching the bottom edge of the map there, taking out Paralon's facilities down here. He's engaging the position up here, and he's still holding Galactic north of center. Trouble is, this can often alert your opponent as to your ideal. You get huge amounts of scout planes heading over like that. Surely that should make you move your comm, make you think something's up. Well, there's the teleportation gateway. Remember, that's not visible, I don't think, to Strogo. Maybe it is. There he goes. Oh man, what a way to lose. See, I want to complain about that. I really do, but how do you do it when Blinchik has already done it to Team 1? But you could argue it didn't really help them at all since it got him blown up. But Strogo was getting work done. Look at this major breach. This was about to get taken out. This was all about to get taken out. Everything here grey. There's a grey section in here. You have grey moving up around here. Not a lot of yellow. That would have to come back. I'm telling you, if all he does, as long as he doesn't get sniped here, Strogo wins this game. And there is a case for a teleportation inhibitor. Somebody else said the game would be made even more turtley. No, yes, but no. I just don't think the all-in craze, you should be able to counter it in a more elegant way than just putting T1 PDs around your comm on the off chance that someone might do it. I don't like it. I never have, and I'm not going to change my stance. There's nothing you can do about it. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. We will soon have the conclusion, as we said, of the Open Palms tourney. That will be brought soon, the next few days or beginning of next week, something like that, I hope. Don't forget, guys, if you feel so inclined, you can support me on Patreon. Details on how to do that is below this in each and every one of my videos. Thank you in advance for any support that you decide to donate. And, of course, for all of the donations that have been sent to me so far. Thank you so much for all your support. It means the world to me. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.